This week on Amazingly Terrible, we'll be watching The Legend of Zelda, Episode 4, Kiss and Tell.
Well, excuse me, princess.
Perfect delivery. I love it. You're listening to Amazingly Terrible, the podcast that has some of those plot-rockin' beats. Well, I'm actually just thinking because the Mario Brothers theme song actually was feeling it this time when we got to see it again.
Yes.
The only time we'll get a chance to see it again. Oh, and also, my name is Adam, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
My name is Beat Droppin' Matt.
Beat Droppin'.
I'm David.
Panty Droppin' David.
My name's Mike.
Panty Dropping Mike.
I'm back. It's Derek. I ain't dropping any panties. We're just going to hate on some Zelda. Let's go.
Derek's back.
This is the Derek. His name
Back
is Derek.
again. Derek's back. Tell a friend.
We've just had
Tell one friend that maybe they should listen to the podcast.
a couple of months. So, all right, let's get into this. Zelda is terrible and the most overrated video game franchise in the history of video games. Discuss.
Wow. Strong opening statement. Let's see
Very
how the rest
strong,
of the
yes.
essay comes out.
This is Derek's term paper for
This is
terrible.
It is.
This is your
I
AP
was so-
English.
I bought the Switch for Breath of the Wild, and I was so fucking disappointed by that game.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we found out who hurt him.
No, it's just a trash video game that got good reviews.
Oh, interesting. Because you're the only person who I've ever heard you say that.
Yeah,
But
if you
admittingly-
actually want to play a good Zelda game, just go play Elden Ring.
Jesus.
Oh, are you on like their dime or something?
Yeah.
No, I actually enjoy good content and not overrated fucking nonsense.
Did you play any of the other Zelda games?
I did. I've actually played a bunch of them, and the best Zelda game is Wind Waker, hands down.
Interesting.
Oh,
Yep.
I got to go with Ocarina of Time. Wind Waker was gorgeous. I loved Wind Waker, but I got to go with Ocarina of Time.
I will give you this. I have actually never played Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have
Oh,
told me
really?
you need to play it. Yep. I've played a bunch of the other Zeldas, and I do. Sorry, the facetiousness of me being like Zelda's the most
He's
overrated
played so many
franchise.
Zeldas. Zelda Williams, Zelda Fitzgerald.
Yeah. I've played Robin Williams' daughter. Fuck you guys.
God.
Jesus.
Oh, fuck.
No. I just think Breath of the Wild is meh.
All right. What issue do you have with it?
My biggest issue with the game is essentially the survivability of weapons. Like, as you get better and as you get stronger, why in the world do I only get 24 whacks with the super sword? Like, that's dumb. It's just, it's a mechanic that makes you, no matter how good you get, you're always cycling back to a stick. Other things I didn't like about it is it's not as expansive, I think, as people think it is. You can get creative, like you can light a field on fire and float above it and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you're kind of constrained in what you actually can do. It looks like the new Zelda is going to be a little bit better, and it just lets you do whatever the fuck you want. The one thing I did like about Breath of the Wild was the climbing mechanic. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like getting rid of the off-color handholds that you got to jump to or whatever. You just have a stamina meter, and if you want to go up a cliff and you have enough stamina meter, go for it. And if you don't, you slide off and die.
Just like real life.
Yeah.
Just like real.
I've been playing Immortals Phoenix Rising, and
Whoa.
I saw the text. I'm intrigued
Yeah.
because it's free on PlayStation Plus Extra right now.
damn,
I feel like that name of video game is like, what are the... Let's get all the worst words from all of the movie titles and just slam them together
Matt,
into one video game title.
Nice.
you need to see how Phoenix is spelled.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
with an
It's
F.
not Phoenix.
No. It is FenYx.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
It's like a white woman spelling Ashley.
It's like Terminator Genesis.
Nice.
Yeah, my only complaint about that game is you're very sticky.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you walk by a wall, you're suddenly just like hanging onto the wall.
Oh, boo.
I could see that.
All these video games that are sticky, you got rounds of stick wax. I don't understand these modern gaming references.
It's like Just Cause, but
Ooh,
Yeah,
I
that's what
like
you're
that.
saying. It was like
but in the Bronze
the
Age.
mythic Just Cause.
Yeah.
I have
have to check it out.
actually,
But hang gliding also takes stamina. So.
I've never played a Just Cause game, so that's my video game blindness.
Okay.
They're just absurd.
Yeah.
It's just like a Michael Bay. Like if Michael Bay like made a video game that's Just Cause. It's imagine the biggest explosions and causing the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, like physics doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny when you look at that game, you're like, you're basically playing Spider-Man with a bazooka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
There's
for the
a
most part.
market for that.
Sure. Do you think Spider-Man's bazooka would shoot spiders?
I think web jizz.
No, I
bazookas.
think it'll be like a lot like the Japanese Spider-Man.
Yeah, it'll
And
shoot a
would
car.
It would rapid fire shoot missiles
And lasers.
and lasers. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It just murder everyone.
Can you imagine Spider-Man doing the downward bazooka double jump from Halo?
Nice.
That would be amazing.
yes.
He could bomb his way across Manhattan.
That would be pretty good.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good. Why don't we just get into the Legend of Zelda?
Yeah. Let's get on this accurate representation of a beloved franchise.
Alright, so The Legend of Zelda was a serial that aired every Friday on the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. They only had 13 episodes that they aired, and I think that they just repeated any episodes they needed to fill out those Fridays, but Super Mario Bros. Super Show was a 65-episode series, so it really should have only run for 13 weeks anyway. So
Right. It works out. The math works out.
yeah, it does. The Legend of Zelda animated segments followed the adventures of the hero Link and Princess Zelda as they defend the kingdom of Hyrule from an evil wizard Ganon, who somehow came into possession of the Triforce of Power.
Yeah, but they make it clear there's only two Triforces.
Yeah, there's only
Right,
two
right.
Triforces, exactly.
This is a Biforce.
It's a
Right?
bi-Triforce, because they're triangular Biforces. A tri-Biforce.
Yeah.
I have so much anger over how much they yanked around the people who tuned in to watch this like every Friday and then or Saturday or whatever day it was, and hoping that Link would be on. And it wasn't, and it was every other week, and then it wasn't every other week. And I tried so hard that year. I tried so hard because this was TV. This was broadcast friggin' TV, kids, where you had to sit there and wait until the certain time.
Well, this was 89, so this was
fucking
pre-TiVo, yeah. You filthy Zoomers.
Yeah, we had to stand up, walk over to the TV, and press the pre-programmed button on the VCR to change the channel.
Oh my god.
I just hated that I wanted to watch The Legend of Zelda so bad because I was into the game, and I could never watch. I got maybe 2 episodes the entire season.
Yeah, the Monday to Thursday shows always showed previews of Zelda.
Oh yeah, they
And
teased
said,
it
tune
so
in on
hard.
Fridays.
Yeah.
Yeah, and rightly so. I mean, watching the episode, they knew what they had, and it was goddamn liquid gold.
That's right. It's fan-fucking-tastic.
Oh, Jesus.
Most episodes of The Legend of Zelda consisted of Ganon attempting to capture the Triforce of Wisdom, kidnap Zelda, or conquer Hyrule in some fashion. In some episodes, Link is assisted by Zelda. Link and Zelda are accompanied by a fairy princess named Sprite, who dislikes Zelda. She thinks that Zelda is a competitor for Link's affections. And throughout the series, Link is just basically a teenage asshole. He's a moaning, self-centered.
He's a goddamn bag of dicks.
He
so
really is.
bad.
The running gag throughout the entire series is he is constantly trying to convince Zelda that he deserves a kiss.
Yeah.
And sometimes she acquiesces and like something happens to prevent her from kissing him. Sometimes it's just like garbage and she's like, why the fuck would I kiss you? But basically he just fails the entire time, and his catchphrase throughout the entire series is, well, excuse me, princess. And it's just horrible. Horrible.
He behaves the way a clone of me would.
He behaves the way that a bunch of middle-aged white men think teenage boys think.
Yeah.
I think it's like, hey, let's model this on the relationship most third graders have with someone they have a crush on. Alternating between hating them and sexually harassing them.
I can see that. So on the other hand, Zelda is actually, like, sometimes she is portrayed as a damsel in distress, but for the most part she's like very headstrong, self-sufficient, very like confident in her own right and capable of basically handling pretty much any situation that she's in. So she's very much better than Link, but I think that the synopsis of the series says that she is Link's equal.
I liked the scene where she just starts eating a banana.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Link's fighting dragons.
Well, she essentially defeats a dragon with fruit.
Yeah.
But yes, so this animated series based off the video game Zelda, it actually is based off of the first two games, The Legend of Zelda and The Adventures of Link.
Yes.
And it's very loosely related in that they use sound elements from those two games, as well as the music is actually derived from the over- and underworld music of those games.
Right.
Now, having said that, they did develop certain concepts for this series to explain some of the mechanics in the game. And the first one is that we don't see it in this episode, but apparently Link shrinks down all of his items so he could fit all of his items in his pockets, basically. And that's how they explain like the infinite backpack of the first Zelda game.
He's got a bag of holding.
Yeah.
Essentially, he does, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the second thing they introduced was the evil jar, which we did see here. And it's basically a magical device that Ganon's minions return to when they're killed by Link.
It's monster hell. It's where you go to after you die when you're a monster.
Well, it's like Pac-Man.
Yeah.
They go back to the box.
It's supposed to explain how Ganon is able to summon minions over and over and over and over again, basically. And it was also a way for them to get around the violence of the cartoon.
Sure.
So, only evil creatures can go to the evil jar. Humans cannot go to the evil jar.
I feel like it's the name of a bar in Soho.
It is.
So Link has the Master Sword in this, like he does in the video games, and it shoots off energy bolts. Apparently, the Master Sword has no effect on humans or
It's
humanoid
also
creatures.
rinky-dinky.
So, you think it's a little too tiny? Well, it's a laser gun, so
Yeah.
that is like the background information I have for Zelda. The only big thing for the development of Zelda that has popped up for Nintendo and their concerns was they were worried about giving Zelda a voice, because specifically he doesn't say anything
You mean Link?
in the video games. I'm sorry, Link. Giving
Oh my
Link
God,
a voice.
did you think
I
Zelda
already
was
did
You
it.
Link?
just did it. All right, that's
you
it.
did
I'm
it.
out. I'm out.
Jeez.
So-
I'm out. Can't do this.
So they were worried about Link having a voice. So
Sure.
which is understandable given that they gave him an annoying personality.
Yes,
Horrible
they
voice.
went
So,
with the worst possible version of this character.
they did.
Yeah.
They did.
Which, honestly, if they ever make a movie, I think they should go with a completely silent protagonist.
That would be pretty good, actually. Yeah.
Like the
I
Doom
mean,
movie.
it's the Master Chief problem, right? Like, you can't show Master Chief's face because he has the suit of armor. And the moment they take the helmet off of Master Chief, you're like, that's not Master Chief. So,
Yeah.
which I think they already did. All right. So my favorite part of this entire cartoon
Okay.
is that it is 16 minutes.
It's such a disappointment.
It has 2 intros
Yeah.
and
an
1 outro.
Yes.
So it's really like 12 minutes. So
Yeah.
that's my favorite part.
We didn't get the actual like live action show that was around this particular episode.
That's true. Yeah. Although, maybe we should try to find that. Because I do have to say that that was one thing we really liked about the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, was the live action bits. Because I think that when we actually recorded that episode, we said, wouldn't it be great if we actually made a series that was just going over the live action parts of Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
That's taking us into a very dark place, I feel like.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
it is.
I love it.
I feel like we're not much. I don't know.
I like going.
Might as well make this into an Elvira fan cast, you know?
What do you have against Elvira?
I don't have anything against her.
Okay, good. Can we do that then?
What I would. You fucking horny piece of shit.
Maybe that's what we should have done for the 69th episode. Just have Mike wax poetically about Elvira's boobies.
Yeah.
And it's not too late.
That's true. That's true.
It's never too late.
I don't understand how you can be both the horny one and the angry one, Mike.
Well,
Well, I'm angry because I'm
mean-
horny.
exactly.
Yeah, it goes
He's
together
frustrated
quite,
all the time.
quite perfectly.
He's a 42-year-old man, teenage boy. Exactly how that works.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so the
how I
episode
feel.
starts with Zelda riding her horse with a batch of fruit in a basket, and she's complaining that Link is being a lazy ass and sleeping in instead of coming to go ride with her. This is when I had a bit of a memory spark for this series.
Mm-hmm.
I remember very clearly that the hands in this series were drawn in a weird way. They were always like disproportionately too large, or they like didn't really match the movement.
Oh my
And
god.
I got that from the very beginning with Zelda. She had giant hands as she was playing with the fruit.
Huh. Now it's the only thing I can see.
Thanks, Adam.
I'm like watching her ride her
problem.
horse, and the screen is 50% hand.
I actually wanted to mention from the opening theme the way they like move towards the camera with a parallax effect.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
pretty interesting.
We saw that same effect on Rainbow Bright, used very nicely.
Yeah,
It's-
we have
it-
like
yeah.
the background and the foreground are like moving somewhat slower, but like the midground seems to be moving super fast. That is a bit strange.
I think Disney pioneered the technique, and they did it with a multi-plane camera where they would actually move the upper layers higher and higher, so they'd also get blurred. They get blurred out a bit.
Very interesting. Mike, how do you feel about this cell effect?
I don't want to beat a dead horse. We all have heard me talk about it before. It's the same.
It's insane.
Nice. Okay. Fine.
We don't need to just replay a bit from one of my previous episodes.
We'll cut all the comedy out. That's
We're going to replace Mike with an AI that.
It just talks about redheads and complains about cell.
He complains about the redheads on his lawn.
I told you about the AI CEO flowchart that I'm going to build.
Nice.
Where it basically it's going to be the easiest CEO ever. It's just call a meeting. If profits are up, tell everyone that they need to increase profits even more. And if profits are down, yell at people and then call another meeting. And then it repeats.
Nice.
Sounds good.
I like this. I think that we should add that to our Amazingly Terrible website. The AI CEO. flow
CEO
sheet.
bot.
Yeah.
It's just going to yell at us.
TMT.
Yeah, it's just going to call. It's just going to call meetings all the time and yell at us.
Nice. All right, so Zelda's on her horse. She's riding around. She comes across a maiden being attacked by a Gleeok and attempts to assist the maiden, claiming that Link will be sorry that he missed out because she's rescuing a beautiful girl, and that's Link's favorite. And the Gleeok and the maiden are obviously working together,
Yes.
creating a trap for Link specifically.
Yeah, they're giving each other notes.
Yep. And I really did like this portrayal of Zelda, like the rough and tumble.
Yeah. I think this is also, at first I was thought, hey, the animation's pretty good, and then I saw the animation on the Gleeok. and one of his heads is like perpetually behind its body.
Princess Zelda basically jumps in the fray, starts throwing fruit at the Gleeok, trips him up a bunch, and essentially defeats the Gleeok, or distracts it enough at the very least, to be able to get away with the maiden, but the maiden refuses to leave because she has to be rescued by a proper hero. And that's when Link shows up, and like there's like a little twinkle when he smiles, and like winks at the camera, like, oh, Link is here. Hi.
He immediately takes credit for all the work Zelda just did.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Just like a proper CEO.
So did we address the fact that this is... So this was early on in essentially the Zelda kind of franchise,
Bruh.
where Zelda was very kind of European in the way that they kind of made their shit, if that makes sense. Like, they have very, very Western-style castles and Western-style monsters and Western-style combat or whatever. And then as Zelda matured through the 90s into the early 2000s, I think it's taken its own, artistic direction. Or am I getting way too deep with that?
No, that's fine.
That's
That's good.
pretty accurate.
Just like the OG Final Fantasy. Like, the OG Final Fantasy was not, chocobos and cactuars and all that other shit. It was like dragons and Trogdor,
No, it's definitely like much more stylized, and I think that's a pretty good point. But we are pretty early on, so it is very European style in this whole setup in here. So
Oh, yeah. No, I think if there was a Zelda cartoon made nowadays, it would not be nearly as, like,
Medieval.
exactly. Yeah. Like, Princess Zelda was like, nowadays I kind of imagine Princess Zelda, Princess Peach kind of in the same, under the same umbrella, I guess you could say, artistically. Whereas back in the day, like, she is something straight out of Lord of the Rings,
Yep.
I think it's a cultural thing. The Japanese have a very romantic view on kind of the medieval period.
Mm-hmm. It's a tired trope, and I'm glad it's dying.
Slowly.
Yeah.
Which one? The whole...
Damsel in distress.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, people just don't believe it anymore.
I mean, except when bitches get in distress. You just gotta go save them.
Jesus.
That's how I roll, motherfuckers. Bitches, distress. My fave.
All right. So Princess Zelda shows up, kicks the ass of the Gleeok. Man doesn't want to get away. Link whips out the Master Sword. The energy blasts that are incredibly destructive just takes out two of the heads of the three-headed Gleeok right off the bat. And then Zelda sits back in the cut talking to the maiden, eats a banana, and then tosses the peel out to trip up the Gleeok, incapacitating it so that Link can then fire off another shot and kill it. It's a lot like that scene from the big...
Lebowski.
No, the Marky
Sleep.
Mark movie.
The Marky Mark movie.
There's a Marky Mark movie called The Big Steak, The Big Click, The Big... Jesus, I
James
just
and the
watched
Big
it
Peach.
recently. Marky Mark and the Giant Peach, yes.
Yeah. I would watch that. Just him and a bunch of insects
Damn it.
rapping.
Damn it.
Are you thinking of The Big Short?
No, The Big Chill, Big Sleep, The Big City, The Big Game.
Oh, David, I'm sorry.
God, I'm sorry, David. Oh, why do I start saying things when I'm not ready?
It's okay. Don't worry about it, man. We're all old and dumb now.
The Big Bang Theory.
Can you imagine if Mark Wahlberg was on The Big Bang Theory?
He probably made a guest appearance at some point in time.
He probably did, yeah.
The Big Sick.
No, I did like The Big Sick, though.
Yeah.
This is back in, like, the 90s. This is so long
90s.
ago.
Okay. The Big Hit.
The Big Hit! There we go.
Wow.
I couldn't remember the word hit. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me? No, it's like exactly like the scene of The Big Hit where Lou Diamond Phillips basically like walks into the room where everybody's dead and was like, "Hey, that guy's still kicking, right?" And then shoots him just so he can get the bonus on killing the guy. That's essentially what the Link is doing here with Zelda's kill.
Oh, yeah. He technically wants the kill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
He wants the XP.
I think he just wants the glory. That's all he wants. Link basically gets the chance to mac on this maiden. She kisses him, and then Link turns into a frog, and the maiden turns into a Gibdo, who explains, Ganon's plan worked perfectly. Mm-hmm. And then Zelda kills the Gibdo.
Yeah, I think trying to use the names of the video game monsters may have been a mistake.
Did not make sense. Basically, it's a mummy, folks. A lady mummy.
I was going to try to stick with it, but yeah. So the Gleeok is basically like a Hydra, and the Gibdo is a mummy. So she unwinds the mummy by pulling on the rags, and it just sort of unwinds and dies.
Yeah.
So
inside, it's a being of pure light, and it escapes.
But we cut to Ganon looking at his monster jar, where we see the mummy and the Hydra sort of floating around. And Ganon proclaims that he's finally going to be able to capture Zelda, because they took out Link.
I love this version of Ganon. It's gorgeous. He feels like the character they didn't have a model for. Because he's like, every time you see him, they're like, yeah, just draw like a big, ugly warthog that looks crazy. And
warthog
like,
head, yeah.
Every time they're like, yeah, this is different, but make it crazier.
Yeah.
And
no, I like that too, and I actually had some questions about that. Was Ganon always portrayed as like a warthog in the first two Zelda games?
Yeah, he was like a hog kind of creature.
Okay.
He was more like a beast, like a much more traditional, beast kind of creature.
Yeah, like the orcs in the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. He does kind of look like an old school orc, yeah. Or even looks like the orcs from that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Right, Mike? 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 Dude, I just went out on an anime limb and you're leaving me hanging. Damn.
Yeah, nothing. The thing that I enjoy most about him, though, is that he has an enemy who's not Link, and that enemy is walking.
Yes.
Motherfucker will teleport himself 15 feet away. That's
In
how
all
lazy
fairness,
this guy
though,
is.
if you learn how to teleport yourself, wouldn't you just be teleporting everywhere too? I mean, come on.
Yeah, with my knee.
That my lazy ass will be trying to figure out how I can just like not teleport, but teleport my pee into the toilet.
Yeah.
It's just like
That's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Also, like I like to think of like if you thought about a teleporter's house, it would just be like most of the places people usually go and stand, like in front of the sink, in front of the fridge. All those things just have a chair there. And he just teleports himself into the chair.
Oh yeah, if I didn't have to worry about logistics when I decided where to stack things on the floor.
Nice. Well, I mean, that does bring up a very good question, though. Like, why is Ganon's lair accessible at all? Like, why isn't it just, like, hollowed out rock, basically?
Yeah.
That's just sort of, like, in various spots where you can just sort of tell... Well, I guess you would still need airflow of some type.
Because he
still
always
has to
wants to take Hyrule. Like, he doesn't give a shit about his lair.
Yeah, but
he wants to fucking take Hyrule.
He's got all these monsters he needs to deploy.
That's true, too.
They just come in. They come in out by jug.
Yeah, exactly.
He jugs them to where they need to go, and they jug back.
Jars them all out.
Yeah. Oh, jar. Shit, I fucked it up.
I like jug, but evil jugs are better than an evil jar. So.
Yeah.
Now we're all the way back to Elvira.
You think one of them was evil?
I said evil jugs. I didn't say plural. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like the idea that just one of them was evil.
Just one is evil. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always fighting the other one.
Choose wisely.
Nice. All right. Anyway, we cut to a scene of Zelda, the comforting Link, as he's despondent about being turned into a frog, and he's like a frog man, so he's like still like a anthropomorphic frog essentially. Ganon shows up, zaps Link, or zaps at Link, and then Link like jumps and bashes his head into a branch off of a tree and knocks himself unconscious. And Octorok, or one of those octopus-looking things from the Zelda games, shows up and captures Zelda, and they go back to Ganon's lair.
Zelda, I felt like she did some nice voice acting in this, because Link goes 0 to 60 on his emotional stability, and he's literally bawling because he's ugly, and also because no one will kiss him.
That's true.
Yeah. His number one priority.
He gets kissed once in the entire show, and then he turns into a frog immediately.
And she really, like, emotionally responds to him.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's like, of course, you know, you're still a man, even though you're a frog.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not my type anymore, but, you know.
It happens to a lot of guys.
It does. It does. And just think of it this way, you don't have to shave anymore.
Oh, God, that'd be so good.
Plus, you have semi-permeable skin, so, you know, you can kind of breathe through your skin a little bit. Hold your breath longer. Plus, that tongue, you know, there's got to be some ladies that are into that.
Yeah, you'd save a fortune on groceries.
Okay, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Right. So Link eventually wakes up and then starts a bit that winds up playing out through the rest of the episode where there are 2 red spiders that were left behind by Ganon that were supposed to kill Link, and they call them dealers, but I think they're just Tektites. But they're spiders.
Yeah, these spiders chirp even louder than the background music.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And to call this a reoccurring bit is generous because we're more than halfway through the episode.
That's true. Well, he does it like 4 times.
Yeah, they really squeeze it in.
But Link eats the spiders right away, even though the spiders were supposed to be there to kill Link. I don't know. It seemed a bit like a waste of effort on Ganon's part, to be perfectly honest. So he should have just like stabbed Link in the forehead when he was knocked unconscious on the ground. So
yeah, just shoot him in the head when he's laying on the ground.
Exactly. Just go get your gun. Come back. Link winds up going to the castle where the Triforce of Wisdom is being held, and Sprite just happens to be hanging out, the fairy happens to be hanging out with Triforce. And Link proclaims his predicament, and the Triforce talks, and the Triforce says, "The Witch of Walls will help you best. To find her, you must make a quest. Seek a wall that has no end, beneath the bough that cannot bend."
Yeah.
And this is not a problem at all. They know exactly which wall it is because it's the longest wall in Hyrule.
Don't worry, kids. This is not a puzzler. Next scene, we solve this.
It's not a quest at all, even. And then they see an ironwood tree, and they're like, okay, it's right here. And then suddenly a 2-dimensional witch comes out of the mosaic of the wall, and then just gives Link the answer immediately, that he has to be kissed by a princess. And this is when Link laments that he's been trying to get Zelda to kiss him forever, and it has never happened, and it's never going to happen now that he's become a frogman.
Yeah. Basically, Link's an incel.
Yes. Yes, actually, that's perfect. Perfect example. So, we cut back to Ganon. He's talking about how he's intending to ransom Zelda for the Triforce of Wisdom, and then also, like, he might get a kiss from her in the meantime and kind of max on her a little bit. And we immediately cut to seeing Link climbing the underside of a walkway inside of Ganon's cavernous lair. And this is when I was like, what is the fucking downside of being a frog, dude?
Yeah, it seemed
I mean,
pretty
serious. You could jump massive distances with enough force to knock yourself unconscious, but eventually you get the hang of that. You can leap long distances. You could still use all your equipment because you still have like prehensile hands.
They infer that he can't use the sword, right? Because he like kind of rattles it around when he first changes into the frog, and he doesn't use it at all while he is a frog. And
that's true.
As soon as he's back in human form, he whips that shit right out.
And just starts blasting every fucking thing he sees. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like a 13-year-old boy.
Yep. Yeah. But this is when we get the second. Or actually, no, I think this might be the 3rd time that he eats a fly, and he eats it in front of Sprite. And I actually really did like this little interaction between he and Sprite, where Sprite's like, dude, keep your fucking tongue away from me. You're freaking me out. Because I look like a fly, and you're just eating flies next to me. One of these days, you're just going to eat me, and it's not going to be in a good way.
She knows he's a sexual predator.
Keep it away.
Well, she does immediately land on his shoulder while she's saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's probably into it.
Yeah, mixed messages.
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh shit.
Well, at this point in time, Ganon's like, oh shit, something's going on, and he warps out of his room to go find Link, as Link runs into the room to save Zelda, and he just hacks away at her shackles. No big deal, no problem. In this scene, he explains to Zelda, hey, I need a kiss in order to change back from a frog, and Sprite gets really excited about this. She seems like she's really into it, and it seems like this is like her one chance to like get her rocks off in some fashion, or this is like some sort of weird like fairy porn setup.
Okay.
You didn't
I
get
don't
that?
remember. I didn't get that. She
really seemed into the idea of Zelda like having to tongue a frog in order to turn him back into a human.
Yeah. Maybe it's like she's taking joy in her uncomfortable thing. Yeah, the uncomfortable things that she has Schadenfreude for Zelda.
Yeah.
There's one bit just before this where Ganon is interrogating Zelda, and she says that Link will save her. He always does. It's his job.
Oh, nice.
Inferring that this is his employment.
He's a guard.
He's a retriever.
He's a retriever, he's like the princess's bag man, basically.
Yeah.
So
He's a butler.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Like Link is Zelda's Alfred, if you would.
Yeah.
And honestly, it would be not a bad job, you know. Most of the time you hang out, you only have to work. What was it? 13 times a year.
Yeah, once every Friday.
Yeah. You work on Fridays for 12 minutes tops.
Yeah.
And most of them you don't even really work, you know.
Exactly. Well, before Zelda can get down to business and give Link the business, Ganon shows back up. Pretty much immediately knocks out Link, and then starts threatening Zelda, who essentially runs directly at Ganon and starts engaging him in hand-to-hand combat and just starts fighting, starts like keeping him at bay, at the very least keeping her own in a fistfight with Ganon. And I like that a lot.
It's pretty badass.
Sprite comes down and kisses Link, saying something like, oh, you've had such a rough day, Link, and kisses him. And he transforms back into his old self, immediately shaking off the concussion that he was suffering from.
Yeah.
The second concussion that he was suffering from in 4 hours.
The frog form is weak. It's weak to concussions.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Not like us human forms. We can shake off traumatic head injuries, no problem.
Yeah.
TBI, no worries. Boom.
No, just football players are weak against them. The rest of us are fine.
Nobody else gets CT, just football players.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They have a
it
special
makes sense.
sensitivity.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see anyone else with them.
This is what we were talking about before. We have Link jumps to his feet, immediately pulls out a sword, and just starts blasting everything. He shoots a tapestry that falls on top of Ganon.
Blasting.
He had to work
he
real
shoots a
hard to
hole.
miss Ganon here.
That's true. He did. Yeah. Ganon took up a pretty decent amount of space, but he covers Ganon with a tapestry that blasts a hole in the floor beneath Ganon, sending him falling to his death, plummeting several stories to the stalagmites at the bottom of the cavern. And then he blasts a hole into the wall that he can jump through, and he's blasting everything.
Yeah,
left and
he's
right.
just like, fuck doors.
So, yeah.
Screw this. He knows the way in. He got in. He
Yeah,
knows
he
that
walked
you could
in.
just walk
He
out.
came in. Exactly.
Yeah. He's just like, fuck this door.
I mean, I wonder if that was really what he was doing, is as they were walking out, he's just like blasting back behind him constantly just to try to demolish the lair, just to fuck Ganon big time.
I just think he took a page out of the Mega Man playbook.
Yeah.
Never use a door.
Never use a door. That's right. Yeah, anyway, we did have to get the line from Link, though.
That's what they're expecting.
As we're assuming Ganon's falling to his death, Link assures Zelda that Ganon will teleport back to safety, no problem. Before he heats the bottom of this cavern and dies a gruesome death, he'll be back.
Right.
So,
basically, either he's saying, I'm ineffective, or I have job security.
yeah. And this is when Sprite explains, "Oh, I'm actually the princess of all the fairies," and it's like, well, you could have mentioned that like 5 hours ago, and none of this would have been a problem. Pain in the ass.
Yeah, they wouldn't have even had to rescue Zelda.
Exactly. They could
Right.
have just been Sprite and Link all the way down.
Yeah, hey, I got a new princess. Slightly smaller.
So Zelda offers to kiss Link, who jumps on the idea, but then he gets distracted by a fly, which he grabs and eats, and this is not Zelda's kink, apparently, and she gets a bit turned off by this. He winds up losing out on another opportunity to get his kiss. So,
Good. Fuck this guy.
and that is The Legend of Zelda. Hooked on the brothers.
You're just gonna have to do that all the time. That's the intro to every episode now.
So, how do you think they did that casting call for that? Like,
What's that?
were they like, come on, man, we need a fat guy who wants to pretend to be an Italian, and we need a skinny guy who wants to pretend to be an Italian.
Were you,
And then
were you
we're
not
gonna
here
do a
for
bunch
the...
of really fucking sketch hip hop music, and then you guys just gotta kind of dance to it like a bunch of white dudes.
Oh, man.
Were you not on the Super Mario Brothers Super Show with us? Because there was a lot of that background.
We know
the
answers
fact-
to all of those dumb questions.
Hey there, Amazingly Terrible fans. To check out our Super Mario Brothers Super Show, listen to episode 40, Kids Are Absolute Idiots. Excelsior!
Now let's get down to business. We need to have an argument about how Link was able to fire energy blast from his sword after
Yes.
being hit by Ganon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why? Like, how is he back to full health immediately? Did he only have like one heart jar? Well, I guess
he had a
did
fairy
get-
in a jar.
That's true. He did get kissed by the fairy, so she did. She would have brought his life all the way back up. So. And the fairy was played by Pauline Gillis. Link was played by Jonathan Potts. Princess Zelda was played by Cindy Preston. Ganon by Lynn Carlson. That's all we got here. Elizabeth Hannah played the Triforce of Wisdom. I don't know any of these people, so
Yeah.
like all new names.
Yeah.
Link,
I didn't
Link,
recognize
I am
any-
the Triforce.
anybody.
I am the Triforce,
Oh, the
Link.
Triforce of Wisdom. Link.
I didn't
I'm
tell
a
you this
fucking
before, Link, but
Triforce.
my father is the king of
I'm
all
a two-sided
Triforces,
triangle.
so I'm actually a princess of Triforce.
Nice.
I love how I just needed to start it, and then it just took off on its own.
Yeah. We can't let you have a good joke.
I like it. Well, I don't. Well, who cares what you don't like? I care.
What did we think of this? As if we didn't know.
Fucking terrible. Holy fuck. Am I the only one who thought that?
Yes.
No.
I
You're
loved
right.
it. I thought it was amazing. Like I saw Zelda's hands, and I was just like, "Oh my god, what's wrong with her?"
I can't look
She
away.
has like elephantitis. Oh my god.
It's like Yowie hands.
I like that idea. You're like, you found the one flaw that draws you in.
Oh my god.
I am kind of grateful that we did not get the catchphrase this episode.
We got
That
it.
is true.
We got it in the opening.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's
Yeah.
always in the opening.
It's always in the opening. It's
Why
always
did
in
they
the
think
intro
that
to the
was?
show.
They were like, "Oh, this is a selling point. They'll love
Yeah.
this."
Yeah, it's the same mistake
Excuse
that
me, princess.
Chris Kattan and Michael McDonald make, where they think that their annoying character is funny, but they turn out being
We are
better,
two wild and
they turn out
crazy
being
guys.
They turn out being better actors than comedians.
Well, how close was this to Full House too? Because this actually gave me a lot of like.
What?
Well, there was the catchphrase for the Michelle character in Full House that was "How rude,"
Oh, I hated that.
and it's like the same delivery. So
Really? I never made that association. That's amazing.
Did
Well, it's just
I
that
do
same,
that?
like that childish. Oh yeah, that's like another good one. That the childish like inflection on the specific words. Well, excuse me.
It feels like one of those things that where like they want to invent cool slang, but they don't know how. Or they're like, Middle America will understand this.
David, what'd you think? What are we getting here?
There's a reason this was only on once a week.
It's so bad.
It was
so bad.
It was quiet
Like,
canceled.
if they thought it was bad back in the day, it was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the reason why it didn't show up is, they were quiet canceled and no one told anybody, including the show.
Yeah, they're like, we're not actually paying you anymore. You don't have to keep sending us episodes.
We're not paying you for these last 6 episodes you've sent us. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop it.
So just replay something that, just replay the second episode.
Yeah. Forever.
I like this. I like this idea that Hollywood
it.
operates in this fashion. It probably does, in all honesty. Wouldn't surprise me.
I'm sure it does.
Okay, so I think we're all of the same consensus that we hated this. However, do we want to keep it or not?
No, absolutely fucking not.
No.
I have a differing opinion.
Yeah, why would we want
It is sublime.
to do that to ourselves?
It is
Oh, you
transcendental.
did like it. You love this thing.
It
huh?
is so terrible. It's
like Citizen Kane.
So terrible it's good.
like watching a war crime. Yeah, it's amazing.
It's like watching a war crime.
Yeah.
Fucking what the fuck,
It's a level above a train wreck.
Yeah.
It's not just a
man,
train
I've
wreck,
never
it's a
taken you
war
to war.
crime.
It's watching it.
Hey, do a war crime.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like
He's just jerking it right there, like do a war
You're
crime.
like, I
do a
know
war crime.
watching this is cheapening me in every way that it can and destroying good memories and making me morally weaker. It's almost amazing that we get to witness it.
excellent.
Yeah.
So Matt loves it. Perfect.
No, I hate it, but I think we should keep it.
See, that's what I was going for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's everybody's vote? Matt votes to keep. I vote to keep.
Bail this bitch.
No.
Okay,
Mike?
Yeah.
hear me out.
Fucking
I don't.
send it.
I don't want
Mike,
this.
Wait.
Come
before,
on.
before Mike, before you make a judgment.
Hey, Matt, don't. It's not peer pressure, Mike. Make your own decision.
Mike,
come on, buddy.
this is your
Own
chance
decision.
to finally see all the episodes and finish
Yes.
the series, Mike. This
Shit.
will redeem your
Oh
childhood.
my god, I love
You
the
can
peer
put
pressure.
this shit to
It's
bed.
high school.
Oh my god.
It is
I
within
could
your grasp because
actually-
now you can even pick the episodes that we want.
Oh.
You could walk us through this in
And
sequence.
which episodes do we want, Mike? All of them. Every single one.
Every single delicious one all over our bodies.
There is a strong part of me that wants to see how this ends. Because I have never actually seen the whole.
He's so erect right now.
and I could watch it. I could watch it next, but I would like to wait and see if we could do it on the
Don't do it.
podcast.
Yeah,
Don't
man.
do it,
Think of
buddy.
this. Think of this. You started alone in your childhood, and now you get to share it with your best friends.
That's right.
I can tell you right now, Mike, there is no beginning episode or end episode. There's no serial storytelling
There's
going
no
on
arc
here.
here.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
cheapen it.
Yeah.
You can't cheapen the pricelessness that I could reclaim some of my youth, and more importantly, get rid of the regret that has been I've been carrying for all these years.
God.
This will relieve you of your regret
Yeah.
Oh no.
by giving you new regret.
This is going to wash all that anger away and just leave horniness.
I'll be baptized.
You know what?
Cleansed.
I'm gonna be baptized in my own boner. Fuck yeah. Let's go.
Just you're raising yourself up out of the baptismal font by your dick.
All right, what are we doing? Come on, Mike.
Just
Make
wait till
a
you
decision.
see. Just wait till you
Are,
see
are we,
Sprite's
are we
cousin.
doing it or not?
Sprite's cousin's actually a redheaded fairy. So
I say we keep it.
I love you, Mike.
Are you voting? Are you voting to keep it, Mike?
I'm voting to keep it.
nice, nice.
It's
God
just
damn it.
This is the most evil thing I've ever done.
All right, let's put this one to bed so I can get off headset because I am done with this bullshit.
well, is David? Were you gonna vote to keep it as well?
No, but I will say that I think, any other episode of this cartoon, and I would not have even considered it.
We got like the cream of the crop here. We got the best of the best.
Well, I just really bristle at that catchphrase because I did try to rewatch it once, and if you start like marathoning this, it builds up way too fast.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's only 13 episodes.
yeah, we got to make this last, man. This is our Elvira.
Oh, but why can't Elvira be our Elvira?
Because
We don't deserve
you
that.
haven't earned Elvira yet.
Yeah,
Oh, I guess I see that.
we're too
Nice.
uncomfortable to be horny on main.
All right, so that was our voting. So, oh fuck, I gotta do my redemption. Shit.
An insurmountable pile of wonderful awfulness.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to buff the live. Oh no, I'm gonna buff the movie list again.
God damn it!
I want to watch a movie. I want to watch Buckaroo Banzai.
Okay.
Fuck no! Why?
Yes.
Are you, no.
Yes. You know why I'm like this. You knew my childhood.
No.
You knew the things I had to endure. Also, it's easy to do without me having to put too much thought into it, so...
Yeah, you could do it right now. I'll bet. I bet you
What's
can
that?
summarize it right now.
Probably, yeah, I probably could.
Do a flash. What is it called?
Jeff Goldblum shows up, does a interview with Buckaroo Banzai, who's a neurosurgeon, inventor, rock and roll musician, etc.
Okay, this is way too detailed. We need to move on.
Yeah, I said flash.
All right.
Like 30-second elevator speech.
Yeah.
John Lithgow shows up, hangs out with Peter Weller. They fight. Peter Weller wins. Boom.
Okay.
Nice.
We want cartoons 26 hours a day.
All right, so we're now up to reverse retcon. Our favorite part of the show,
All right.
where we gamify our future.
Yes. This is our own little digital basilisk.
It is. Actually, it kind of is.
This is how we'll be tortured in the future.
Oh.
So, David, what are you
Yeah.
rolling? On a 1D 3419.
Hold on. 992.
Whoa, that's way up there. 992.
No.
Oh, fuck, no. We round up, don't we?
Oh
God damn it. Again? What is with
What
us
is it?
rolling
What-
the same thing over and over again? G.I. Joe.
It's G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe. Again.
Again.
Oh boy.
Well, it's not. At least it's not a Spider-Man.
Oh, I should have voted Spider-Man back on. Damn it.
Too late.
The eternal war that was raged over the Spider-Man.
Over the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Like not Spider-Man.
Okay. So we now have... So we re-rolled G.I. Joe. So we have 95 episodes to choose from.
Yes.
Probably want to do
Yeah.
94, because we probably don't want to watch the same episode
I'm gonna
we watched last time.
I'm gonna postulate something. Many of the episodes are two-parters.
Oh, you think so?
We
Okay.
we may need to watch 2 episodes.
Oh, okay. Or can we opt in and watch the movie? Or do we already have that on the movie list?
I think it's probably on the movie list.
Yeah, the movie would be on the movie list.
Okay.
The movie would be on the movies go on the movie list.
Ooh.
Movies. Now, hold on. There was an episode that we were talking about last time where we saw...
Oh, the one where they travel to an alternate universe in which the G.I. Joes don't exist.
Well, what episode do you want to watch, Derek?
Show me your movies.
I don't have a preference. Let's do episode 69.
Here it is.
it is.
Worlds Without End Part
Yeah.
1 and Worlds Without End Part 2.
Yeah, that I actually
Okay.
just found it too. Yeah, I think that's what we do. And that's episode 46 and 47, so it's right after what we had already watched.
The Joes
So-
are plunged into unconsciousness. When they awaken, the explosion hurls them into an alternate reality where Cobra has defeated G.I. Joe and conquered the world.
Is this going to be my episode?
Yes, it is.
No!
Okay. Yeah. No, that's fine. Because David said, "What do you want to watch?" And I was like, "I don't give a shit." Episode 69. But no, that sounds cool. Like, let's do episode 46, 47. I'll pour some time and effort into that.
Now, real quick. Episode 69 is called Arise, Serpentor, Arise.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
That guy deserves a bonus.
The sexing number.
All right, so we're doing Worlds Without End Part 1 and Worlds Without End Part 2. So,
All right, so that is a 2-part episode, so be ready for an hour of television.
So in a future episode of Amazingly Terrible, we'll be watching G.I. Joe, episode 46 and 47, Worlds Without End Part 1 and 2. Next time on Amazingly Terrible, we will be watching Journey to the Center of the Earth, episode 14, Return of Gulliver. Oh shit, I gotta summarize that one too. Fucker.
Oh no, buddy.
All right.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's good. It's all good. Oh wait, is this the live action one again? Oh no, this is cartoon. Okay.
Oh, this is Journey to the Center. Okay, I gotta see this. Oh boy.
Groovy.
Oh boy. We are in for
something.
We are in for some cheap animation cycles.
Whatever it is, we're in for it. So
I hope you don't like backgrounds.
That's just extra fluff.
Yeah.
It just distracts from the foreground.
Yeah.
Amazingly Terrible is produced by David and Adam. Music by Josh Woodward. Send your email to monotonouslyterrific@amazinglyterrible.com.
Hooked on the brothers.
How long did you practice?
I didn't. I listened to it today and I was like, oh yeah, I remember this song slaps. Let me sing it.
Yeah, Dave. He was one of the original singers. Adam was.
Yeah.
Perf.
Hi, my name's Matt. This is my first meeting. I'm hooked on the brothers.
Have you ever sucked dick for weed? I've sucked dick for the brothers.
Yeah.
Boo this man.